Scott Borthwick with a superb century, and Ben Stokes came to Durham's rescue on the first day of the LV County Championship match at Lords with Middlesex, a game which neither side could afford to lose in their respective battles to avoid the drop. Paul Collingwood batted after winning the toss, but the terrific Tim Murtagh was soon making the most of the 10:30 start. With his second ball, he bowled Keaton Jennings for a duck. Before he had Mark Stoneman caught behind in his third over, this batsman on his way for 4. Durham were left in real trouble on 24 for 3 after 7 overs when Michael Richardson edged Murtagh to David Milan. Both sides began this match with 3 games left to play and 12 points out of the bottom 2. Lancashire beneath them having also played a game more, so a win here for either side would just about guarantee First Division cricket next summer in this competition. Borthwick played the innings of the day, and he was off to a very good start with some lovely shots to start the much-needed fight back. Stokes, meanwhile, simply picked up where he'd left off in the 50-over semi-final against Nottinghamshire at the weekend, when he blasted a brilliant 164 to take his side to this ground for the final with Warwickshire later this month. After a troublesome summer with a bat in his hands, the all-rounder has shown one and all in the last few days that he has lost none of his talents. Some of his strokes were simply sublime. Borthwick was at his 50 off 92 balls, getting there with his 9th 4, this one coming off Stephen Finn, who didn't have his best day on his return to the Middlesex side. The roots of recovery were now shooting through for a Durham team which has shown bags of improvement in the last couple of weeks. Stokes' own half-century was made off 69 deliveries as he took a couple of runs off Murtagh, who was not able to repeat his opening spell of excellence with the shine now off the ball. Stokes has struck 7 fours in his pleasing 50 and looked in the mood to score many more. Both batsmen helped by a very short boundary over to the tavern stand. It was less than 50 metres away from the middle. Not that all the 4s were hit in that direction. Indeed, there were plenty towards the grandstand, and with each one the frustration of this partnership grew for a Middlesex side which promised so much earlier on in the summer. A poor showing in both of these shorter formats perhaps didn't help their confidence overall, and they've slipped from being one-time title challengers to a team looking at the other end of the First Division table. This knock ensured that Borthwick is Durham's leading run scorer this summer, and this shot took him to his 2nd century of the championship season, both against Middlesex, this one off 170 deliveries. He finally lost Stokes at the other end just after the 200 had been posted, the England man nicking off to Neil Dexter on 85 to end the stand on 176. But that didn't open the door to Middlesex as Collingwood came in and continued his excellent recent form with the bat. Recently deciding to stay in the sport for another year, the 38-year-old is clearly loving his cricket right now, even if attacks aren't loving bowling at him. He made a 50 off 82 balls. This was his 8th 4 in his 100-minute stay at the crease. Time for him and Borthwick to add 94 more runs for the 5th wicket. Collingwood had made 59 of those, making him the county's leading run-getter of all time in first-class cricket, when he padded up to Murtagh and was sent on his way by the umpire in the first over with the second new ball. Gordon Mutchell was out for a duck in the next one, Finn having him LBW to give the tall bowler something to smile about on what was an otherwise tough day for him. With the shadows lengthening, Borthwick maintained his concentration to get to his 150 off his 251st delivery, an edge 4 off Murtagh, bringing the batsman his 22nd boundary. He now just needed to see out the last 10 overs of the day to make sure that it was his team which ended it on top. He pulled Toby Rowland-Jones for a 6 as he moved into the 160s before stumps were drawn. Before they were, Phil Mustard was another to pick the wrong ball to leave alone, Rowland-Jones winning the LBW appeal as the keeper was on his way for 15. 11 balls remained and they were safely negotiated by John Hastings and Borthwick, who ended the day on a magnificent 169 and within sight of his second double 100 of the season. He's helped his side to a score of 348 for 7, something that the visitors could only have dreamt of when they slumped to 24 for 3.